Hello, thanks for tuning in. It's Stuart here, classical record collector. So it's an unboxing today. I've already unboxed them because they came in quite a complicated box. And rather than you watch me struggling to open this box, I decided to get them out of the box, and I've not really had too much of a look at them. So I've also got a couple of records I bought from charity shops. So let's see what I bought then. Okay, first of all, the charity shop records. I bought this today from a charity shop, Emma Kirkby Portrait. And I don't know, I like her voice. Digital, that is, released in the 80s. Emma Kirkby made quite a big sort of impression when she appeared, and there was a lot of exposure for her singing on Radio 3 and other places. So I'm quite pleased with that one. 99 pence from an Oxfam sort of record shop. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. And then I've got this, which is nothing really special, just Neville Marriner conducting some pieces, including Dance Macabre. And what else has it got on it? Pavan. It's got some Debussy, La Parade Midi, Dan Fawn, March. Oh yeah, Hungarian March. That's Berlioz. If you haven't heard that, have a listen to it. It's a real roof raiser. So yeah, that's Neville Marriner. Is it digital? Yes, that's a digital recording. So that cost me £1. So I didn't really find much in the charity shops, just those two records. So that was a bit disappointing. But anyway, let's have a look at the records which I did buy from an eBay seller, which are obviously going to be more interesting, or at least I'm very selective when I buy on eBay. So, I mean, in terms of price, I tend to pay on eBay between sort of £4 and £20 for a record. It's very unusual for me to go over £20. So I bought this, Stephen Hoff playing Liszt on Virgin Classics. Now, I know a bit about this pianist. He's still around, and this is from the late 80s, early 90s, I think. I've heard Stephen Hoff play. I heard him play some Chopin about 12 years ago. Brilliantly well, actually. He played one of the Chopin piano sonatas. And just a quick anecdote from that. So yeah, I was sitting in the audience, and a woman suddenly got up and walked very quickly towards the exit and put her hand over her mouth, and vomit started spilling through her fingers and onto the floor. Yeah, can you believe it? While Stephen Hoff was playing. So she got out. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe that. And then, as it happened, when Stephen Hoff had finished his performance, he took his bow, etc. He actually started walking straight for it. And I must admit, I probably should have got up and got to him before he did actually put his feet. He put one foot in it, and he realised what he was stepping in, and he just kind of looked at it and then sort of skirted around it. That was absolutely amazing. He actually wrote about it the next day in his blog and said he's never had that effect on anybody before with his playing. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, so Stephen Hoff, don't often see him on vinyl. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. Moving on. Joseph Suk plays violin encores. That's on Supraphon. What's on it? Some Chrysler, Schumann, Paganini, Albanese, Defia. Yeah, so some good pieces on that. So that's a good one. Well, I mean, when I say that's a good one, you know I collect violin, and I've never had that before, so I'm pleased to get it. Didn't cost me too much money. This is one I probably regret buying. It's Joachim Bruckner Symphony No. 9, and it looks to me like this is taken from a DG. I was a bit of a fool to buy it. I paid about £2.50 for it. I thought, oh, I can't believe, because I bid up to £4 or something. I thought, I can't believe I got that for £2.50. Yeah, I got it because, you know, I should have done my due diligence and realised that that's actually a reissue on a non-DG label. It's the Berlin Philharmonic, and it's on a label called Ex Libris Gramophone Club. Don't know if any of you got any experience of that label. Let me know. I suppose for £2.50 I can't grumble too much. Okay, so moving on. We've got here Boccherini cello sonatas. That's something which I'm quite pleased with. I've never heard Boccherini's cello sonatas before. So that's with cello and forte piano and clavecin. So yeah, that'll be really interesting. That's in stereo. And there's the label anyway. So there we are. It's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 4 sonatas on it. Oh, and the cellist is Egidio Raveda. Don't know if I've pronounced that correctly. So, next, we've got Francescatti and Casizzu, Beethoven violin sonatas in stereo CBS. Now, this is a French pressing, okay? Yes, French pressing. Every time I see records from this set, they're always in mono. It's always the BRG. It's not the SBRG of the UK pressing. It's always for some reason the mono. And I finally found them in stereo. And okay, French pressing, but I'd rather have a French pressing than not. And I did pay £7 for that, actually, which is quite a lot, given that it's a French pressing. But I'm glad to have it because I've never had that before in stereo. So yeah, that's a French pressing, and so is this. So we had this as well. I paid the same price for that. That's another French pressing. I think I've seen this one around in stereo, UK pressing, but the other one I've only ever seen, I think, mono. But anyway, yeah, £7. Probably a little bit uncomfortable. I bid up to £7 on this, but I was hoping they'd go for about a £5. They didn't. I had to pay the full. It went all the way. Never mind. But I'd rather have them for that price than not have them. And then we've got Brahms string quartets. Really pleased with this set, the Janacek Quartet in stereo on Superphone. Haven't listened to this before, but I'm sure that it will be good, as so many Superphone records sound excellent, particularly in chamber music. So there we are. And it's got the insert inside, so I'm pleased with that. And yeah, that's quite a good one. So I mean, when I say good, I mean for my own collecting purposes, I'm pleased with that. Chamber music, violin music, cello music, they're my sort of main collecting interests. Some voice, so, and of course symphonies and other works as well, opera, but that's mainly what I like to collect. And yeah, okay then, so that's what I've got. If I could pick out of those lot, which is the one that sort of pleases me the most, let's have a look. Let's see if I can pick one. I think probably this Boccherini, the cello sonatas, is the one that pleases me the most because, you know, Boccherini, mainly famous for that amazing quintet. Out of hundreds of quintets that he composed, that he hit one that was absolutely so memorable. Everybody knows it. But I'm sure that, I mean, he must be listening. He must be worth listening to. His repertoire, symphonies, concertos, sonatas. I mean, just a prolific composer. A bit like Vivaldi. I mean, we all know Vivaldi for the Four Seasons, but he composed a lot of very, very good music besides that. Not that I would say that Boccherini is on the same level of Vivaldi. I don't think that. The Four Seasons is an absolute masterpiece by any standards, and Boccherini's quintet is not a masterpiece. It's just a very charming piece of music. Right, just briefly before I go, so I don't want this to last more than 10 minutes, there's a video which was dealing with the issue of DACs, DAC, the fact that people are buying DACs, digital to analog converters, for thousands of pounds. And there's a YouTuber out there who did a really interesting test where he kept switching between one DAC and another. And he challenged people to say, how many times did I switch? And he put all the results together. I tried it. I couldn't tell when he switched and when he didn't. I just couldn't tell the difference throughout the whole piece of music. There was no obvious sign that he was switching between one and another. And the end result was, as he said, kryptonite for audiophiles, that statistically nobody could tell the difference. Yeah, there were a tiny number of people that said 7 times, and that was the correct answer. But it wasn't statistically significant. It could well be that just by pure chance, people said, 3, 4, 5, 7, whatever. If I was guessing, I'd probably say 4 because it was like a 20-second piece of music, and I wouldn't think he would sort of switch more than about 4 or 5 times in that space. But I didn't guess. I just admitted it. I couldn't tell the difference. I'll be making a video about that shortly, about the issues and what it all means. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.